Hello. Please like, subscribe, share if you find any of this helpful. This video is about what TRE is, a little bit more information about what to expect and what not to expect, and then it goes along with the videos down below about importance of the nervous system and what TRE actually looks like when it comes to the exercises. So this is similar to a little intro I did for a class the other day, just to get people familiar with some of the concepts of it. A real abbreviated history. Dr. David Berceli focused on or developed the idea of TRE in his work and his travels, and he saw that everybody has this universal bracing or contracting pattern of protection, and then he also saw this tremoring or this response to shake, which in his view, he theorized that that was a healthy, good response of the body to come out of stress. Whereas we tend to think of, or the world tends to think of shaking as a bad thing, and you need to drink some alcohol to stop it, you need to just hold it together, you need to go take some medication to shut it all down. But we view this as a healthy response to the body that's improving and bringing balance to the body. So he developed these 7 different exercises, 6 warm-ups, and then the 7th is getting into the tremor to help make that process easier to happen. And then we continue, we initially fatigue those muscles to allow the tremor to happen, but then we continue working with that tremor while it is at rest. So in my opinion, before I get to that, maybe you have noticed yourself shaking before at an accident. Maybe you witnessed a car accident or you were in an accident and you noticed shaking afterwards. Maybe you had a big speech and you were shaking, or you were on your the day you were pregnant or giving going to give birth that day, things like that. You may have noticed this before. Maybe you've seen it in videos where animals escape a predator, and then as naturally their body is coming out of that stress, they go through this shaking before they get back into running and being how they were before. So in my opinion, who is TRE for? I think it's for everybody. I don't know anybody that has not had tension and stress in their life or has had some level of trauma in their life. So TRE stands for Tension and Trauma Release Exercises. It's like its name, tension and trauma, it's helpful for. In my opinion, it's helpful for many different kinds or all kinds of traumas. Supportive of it. I'm not going to say that we can treat anything, right? Legally, we can't say we can treat or cure anything, but supportive and helpful, yes, in my opinion, it is. Pain, overall pain, tension that we're holding in the body for various reasons. Also acute pain or injuries. Day-to-day stress, maybe a lower level, we think of day-to-day stresses and anxieties that build up from work and family and friends and life. It's helpful for nervous system regulation, which in real simple terms, we could say that's our ability to be flexible in our nervous system and to move in and out and up and down through these different states, and not getting so deeply in or stuck in fight, flight, freeze, immobility. So that would be a real simplified explanation. And that we can, maybe we go into them, but it's more of a healthier response into them, or we can come out of them. We can come back to feeling safe and connected, grounded socially with people, and pretty calm in our bodies overall. Some other things it's helpful for, a workshop reminded me of this recently, that we are learning when we're working with our own body, and if we have a practitioner helping us with TRE, we're learning about our own boundaries, because the practitioner is probably going to give us some different options, and we can say, yeah, I want to try that, or no, I don't want to try that. The practitioner might use touch or other props at some point, and you might have to say, yes, I want some support underneath my shoulders, or underneath some support on my feet, or no, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like that. So giving us some options to say yes or no to, and that can help us to work with boundaries a little bit. Also, containment. Sometimes big things come up in the sessions that we don't want to go into all at once. We want to slow the pace down. We want to regulate things. We could also call some of this titration, that we're taking a small amount of something really big and we're working with it. We're not jumping right back. We're jumping all the way in to the water. We're just kind of touching our toes in a bit. So that's something that we can learn. And like I said before, regulation. How do I pace this for me that it works and it's safe and I'm not overwhelmed with it? And embodiment. Overall, it's an embodiment practice. So we're learning to drop down into our bodies, and what am I thinking, because most of us are always thinking and we're good at being in our mind, but with TRE we are learning, what am I sensing in the body, and maybe what do I notice anything emotionally coming up. And I'm starting to be able to share that in the group or with my practitioner. And so these things apply outside of the session too. We can learn not just in the session, but can I start to do this? Can I start to speak my truth a little bit outside the session? Can I start to say no to even maybe some small things, some boundaries? Can I start to learn how to pace my life a little better, regulate my own system, but also maybe what I choose to take on or not take on? Containment, and what was the other one? Yeah, titration, not jumping into big things and big stresses right away, but maybe slowing things down. So these can be helpful outside of the session as well as we continue to work with it. The video below mentions about the importance of the nervous system. You can check that out. I think I have a video there too in the other article about my story. How TRE has helped me, I'll just share that a little bit here. TRE has helped me to work through some early memories from when I started. It was about a little over 5 years ago. So yeah, almost 30 years, a little under 30 years before this. Some things happened early in my life from some different accidents and operations, and that was stored in my body, and I didn't really know that. I don't know at the time. I might not have even been aware of that these things had happened. I wasn't really conscious of it, but TRE has helped me to go into the body, and it moved through various ways and patterns, which were these early responses coming out and trying to find completion and discharge of that excess energy. So for me, those are some of the memory specific things I saw. It helps me to keep some more stability in my mood. If I don't do nervous system practices like TRE for a period of time, I notice my depression and my mood getting a bit worse, getting a bit deeper and darker. So I still have a bit to go when it comes to a lot of things, but I do notice that's helpful for me. Pain. Pain for me is still something I'm working on, but I do notice TRE has helped with injuries. I've pulled muscles in my upper back and shoulders and my lower back throughout my work and life. the last couple years. More, it seems like more often, the joys of getting older sometimes. So I'm figuring some of that out otherwise with some diet related things also. But I did notice when I pulled muscles, I would do TRE, and it would increase my soreness for a couple hours, maybe a day, and then afterwards, it felt like everything healed up quite a bit more quickly than normal, like if I would have done nothing. Um, it's bringing some movement, some blood flow, some oxygen, whatever else the process is doing for that area of the body, that it does help. At least I've seen it several times when it comes to healing those spots. Freeze energy, I was very dysregulated. I'm still a fair amount in freeze. You can probably tell by my face and certain things that I'm in freeze a good amount of the time, but I was, or maybe all the time, but I was very high in the freeze response after getting off of meds, and much deeper sense of shutdown and collapse. Very cold, physically cold in my body. Um, a lot of the time, much stronger responses to food, and my digestion just being slowed down, and everything affecting my energy and my body temperatures strongly. Um, Skin issues, some digestive issues, and yeah, just things that they were all stronger and higher. As I've worked with this, I've done other tools too, so TRE isn't the only thing I've done, but it's been the most consistent practice and most regular and duration wise I've done. And all of those things have got about some improvement to being able to tolerate better, more foods, um, improvement in body temperature. Blood sugar issues were a really pretty big problem for me, especially going into low blood sugar or feeling weak and fatigued, depending on certain foods and drinks or supplements I took. Um, that has stabilized or gone away for the most part. So, um, some of those things I believe are connected pretty strongly to TRE, and especially that sense of being in freeze, the freeze response. Um, it's helpful, especially for that freeze, fight, flight energy to discharge that through the movement and the muscular movement of the body. And then as the fatigue or as the freeze has gotten a bit less, some of that energy has been able to come back into my body in a healthy way to be used in the nervous system, not in a stress response. So then I have a bit more access to that energy, not so deep into fatigue. So I was, again, quite strongly fatigued. At times, I wouldn't say I was always in chronic fatigue, but I had the first couple months, I would say I was most of the time. But then I had with pretty strong periods depending on the day and stress. And again, foods were a really big issue for me. Um, that and they still are somewhat of an issue for me. But my energy would just crash pretty quickly, or it would be really strong for a long time. So that has made some significant improvement over the months and the years. I've seen things getting up there, getting better. But again, I am more of a slow, things are slow for me, slow progress, and I still want and hope that I will gain some more energy as I do some more work and more emotional and regulation work. Core self. Okay, core self. For me, this one's a little bit, if you're not familiar with any of this, it's a little bit more difficult to explain. but our emotions give us a kind of a directional system. They help us to navigate the world and give us a sense of this is a safe place, or this is a threatening place, or it's not a threatening place. And what do I want? What do I desire? What do I want to kind of move forward in my life? And what am I feeling? Like some of these impulses, biological, like normal responses that I am feeling, being able to be better in tune with that. Um, so TRE has helped me with all of those things over time, that I notice a better ability to start to feel things and what I want or what I need, and maybe the next direction when it comes to my healing, kind of like a feeling of where I want to go or what might best help me next, to get a little bit deeper into myself and feeling maybe another layer, getting another deeper. So like these layers, it was kind of helped to slowly peel back and work through for me. So, and if that's something that doesn't make sense, maybe over time it will, or as you do these practices, you'll start to understand and see that for yourself. Um, and for me, yeah, starting to speak up a bit, start to be a little bit easier to share, and be a little more open, a little bit warmer, a little bit more, yeah, openness, I guess. Be willing to, I've always been curious and wanting to explore, but just an easier sense. Everything isn't quite as threatening and as bad around me, it feels like. So it's a little bit easier to go outward and to go inward. Um, so hopefully that kind of makes a little sense. Um, the other two are just expectations. So it is some of the more common good effects of TRE at the beginning. If you're just starting out, or you might feel a sense of being more grounded, more calm, a bit looser in the body, maybe some reduction of tightness, improved sleeping, more vivid dreams, or remembering your dreams that maybe you couldn't usually remember your dreams. Those are some of the more, maybe the first or more of the common ones at the beginning. Uh, but the deeper, if you have maybe more traumatic experiences, you have some deeper things your body's holding from earlier and your whole life, depending on, I mean, it could be decades that your body holds these things. That can take time to start to feel deeper shifts and connect more deeply with the body and have the capacity, the safety to feel that stuff and to process that as well. So just be aware that there might be some benefits right up front, but if not, can you commit to it for a bit and try to stick it out? Try a few weeks, a few months of fairly regular practice and see what things you start to notice then as you continue to use it. Just doing one time or two times is not going to do maybe a whole lot for you. It might, but it might not. Um, Generally, you're kind of still in the beginner, just getting comfortable with the tremor for the first at least couple of sessions, 4 sessions, 3 sessions, and then you're still working with it and getting comfortable with it for the first 10, 12 sessions. So you're still kind of in that beginner mode. There's always options to explore later, but again, those things take some time to get comfortable with. Um, just like we build a muscle or we build any skill, that takes some time. So if I'm saying and claiming this is a powerful tool and it's deep work, building a deeper sense of trust or connection, you think about building trust with anybody, it's usually something that takes some time to get there. And also, in my experience and from some that I have learned, it's best to not have just the focus of I'm gonna get in there and I gotta discharge and release this energy. That's all I care about. That's the most important thing, is I just have something bad in me. Let's go in and pull it out. So that might not be the best way of thinking, because if we do too much too fast, we can overwhelm ourselves. We can get re-traumatized, and your body, you might be somewhat in a sense of freeze, or you may have never connected with the body or emotions, or it may be foreign to you to even talk about that or go there. So if I expect something's going to happen, it might not, and then you might get disappointed that it's not right away. So a better way of thinking is, in my view, it's good to have thinking that I'm exploring. I'm exploring my nervous system. I'm curious about my body and what it's holding, the patterns I start to see, how it moves, how it doesn't move, where there's constriction, where there's openness, this idea of kind of curiosity, and not so much that I'm thinking every session that this has to happen, or I really want this to happen, I need this thing to happen this time, but going in a little bit more open, um, exploratory, and not maybe having a fixed view of what needs to happen. So it's the curious exploration versus the idea I need to fix this thing right now, which I still have that tendency. That's a way of thinking that I have. It takes time to. I think it's going to be difficult always. We tend to have that way of thinking because we want to feel better quickly, but just bring some awareness to it. Does everything have to be fixed and have to be perfect, or can I kind of enjoy the process as we're doing it? And yeah, so I'm one to talk because I still struggle with that. So letting you know that that's a normal thing as humans and as modern society and culture and Western world. That's just, we want everything fast. Um, yeah, and then there are options as we continue to work with TRE. We can do it in different positions, standing, sitting. You can do it on your knees or in different stretch positions. We can use props, tools, pillows, bolsters, balls, different tools to explore some more, play around with some things, maybe open up some things more. And we can also use other somatic practices during or before, which can blend nicely to give us some more variety, maybe increase our safety in the body a bit more deeply, which can even affect the tremor as well. So I think that's the bulk of everything here. I just have my notes on this page beside me. That's why I keep looking over to the side. So, yeah. Any other questions? You can feel free to reach out or email or book a call if you have some questions on my website. And hopefully that's helpful for you today, and we will talk to you later. Or I will, yeah, see you later.